Well, it's the last day of the cruise and we're all packed up. Final day. But this being our very first cruise, I'm going to tell you guys a few things that we've learned from this cruise out of watching all the numerous, I don't want to say hundreds, but probably like tens and tens of cruise tip videos and like what you should bring and blah, 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 because the list can be very long and they can honestly have you spending a lot of money. But this is my list of what I learned from this first sailing and what I'm going to take moving forward to the other sailings. I have 5 already booked for next year. So subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for all of that content. Now let's open up this refrigerator here. And you see this little lonely water bottle? Yes. I highly recommend that you bring your 12, 17 ounce bottles of water. Bring them for sure. That you are allowed to do so. And I highly recommend that you bring them because depending upon which floor you're on, it could be a little bit difficult just to go run and get a little bit of water, or maybe you do a room service, or maybe you bring some food back to your room. You'll have a bottle of water to sip on. Maybe you take vitamins or whatever the case may be. You might be just parched or whatever, and you'll have one. And we literally are down to our last bottle. Also, you can take these on your ports or your shore excursions. Like maybe you want to take a bottle or 2 of water where you don't have to either pay for something outside on the port or have to just search for some water. You can just easily have an easy bottle of water in your bag and you're good to go. Now the next thing, people say bring a bunch of hooks because these walls are magnetic and you can put the magnets on the wall and you can hook and hang your wet clothes and etc, etc. Let's walk this way and I'm gonna show you something. Because look, I brought no hooks. I brought 0 hooks. But let's look in here. Look into the bathroom. There are a lot of places you can hang stuff. Look, you got one right here. Got something right here you can hang stuff. You can hang something right here. There's 2. Boom. You see there's a little shelf right here? You can hang stuff from here in the shower. You can even use your shower to hang stuff. You can hang stuff over here. You got a little bar here where you put your foot if you want to like shave for the ladies or wash your legs or whatever. And you got this little area up here. You have this area where you can hang stuff. You can hang stuff from here. Just bring, if you want to bring some hangers, because let me also show you something, because you can't use these hangers. These hangers that you get with a cruise ship, you see these little hooks, they're real small. So I don't think these are gonna fit. Let's do the little, yeah. See that? Yeah, that's a no-go. See that? Oh. See that? That's a no-go. Let's see. See that? That's a no-go. So if you wanna bring some plastic hangers, that might be a tip where you can hang stuff. Now, also look, if you don't use your closet, you can hang stuff in your closet. You see there, you have 2 of them here. And I'm not sure if you plan on using your closet, but that's a viable option for you instead of bringing a bunch of hooks. And especially if it's 2 of you, because it was just me and my wife here. Now, if you have the kids and they're at the pool a lot and they're, blah, 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 and they got some wet stuff, honestly, dude, who's getting that wet? I'm gonna be real. Who's that messy? I know kids can be, but if my kids were here, they wouldn't be that messy where we'd have to hang stuff from the walls. And now let's also be clear too. I actually prefer to hang stuff in the bathroom because you can close that door. And if something becomes stale or just the smell of whatever, that can just remain trapped in the bathroom instead of you hanging some stuff here on this wall. You hang some stuff here on this wall and you got funk permeating all throughout your stateroom. Just use your bathroom, guys. Use the bathroom. Also, here's another little, let me give you a little pro tip too. So if you are hanging a bunch of stuff and you know you're about to leave for hours at a time, pro tip, I would say turn your room, the heat on in your room to pretty high to allow for that stuff to dry quicker. Because if you leave the temperature like really cold, it's gonna take so long for it to dry out. So leave it high if you know you're gonna be gone for like hours at a time to help that stuff dry, and then you can like put into a laundry bag or a hamper that you brought on board. Pro tip. Here's one must-have that you definitely need on a cruise ship, and that is this right here, an automatic watch, whether it's digital or one like this. You need one that's waterproof. So you go on those shore excursions, it can withstand the water and all that good stuff. And also, it's really important because this will help you stay on ship time. You just set it to the ship time and you go off of this. Bring a watch with you that's waterproof. You know, preferably something that you don't really care about too much or you don't mind getting banged up. But you definitely need something like this because having to rely on the phone can be a little bit dangerous because depending on where you're cruising, you know, we were just going to the Caribbean, which there was really only an hour difference for the most part. But in some cases, you might be crossing multiple time zones and that can be dangerous. So you need to get an automatic watch to stay on ship time or digital. And here you see this luggage is all we brought. And we did a good job. So the next tip is, guys, do not overpack. Do not overpack on these trips. It's not worth it. It is not worth overpacking because here's the thing. When you go on these trips, a lot of times you bring stuff back with you, which means if you overpacked, you may not have enough space to bring stuff back with you. So really underpack. And I mean, I am a person who does not like to overpack. I actually intentionally try to underpack. And for this trip, there were items that I still didn't wear. There were 2 pair of shorts that I didn't wear, a pair of shoes that I did not wear, there's a pair of pants that I did not wear, and undies and socks that I did not wear. So I would have had even more space. And of course, you know, you may want to buy some souvenirs. Maybe you want to buy some liquor. Maybe you just picked up whatever. But you got to fit that stuff in your luggage. So be mindful of that. But I know the ladies are habitual overpackers. So the ladies is probably like, you're for the ladies, but the guys, take my warning, okay? Another thing that is very important, this wonderful thing right here, Downy wrinkle release. Yeah, Downy wrinkle release. This stuff works wonders. Now, if you want to pay the absorbent amount of the press service here on the ship, be my guest, you know, make them richer. But I suggest you make Downy a little bit richer and save a whole lot of money because to press your stuff is going to cost a whole lot. And this stuff works wonders. I mean, a lot of people like talk about like ways to fold your laundry without wrinkling, blah, blah. You're going to get some wrinkles. But this stuff is a lifesaver. I swear to you, I've never used this stuff ever in my life before. I typically iron my stuff. And we also have a steamer at my house. But man, this stuff works wonders. So get you some Downy wrinkle release. I mean, it doesn't have to be Downy, but whatever. Get you some wrinkle release. So as we chill up here in the solarium, this one is a 2-parter. This falls under the best and the worst, and that is the people and the staff. So the best part of the people is, and it's kind of strange because it's almost like the law of attraction where you run into someone and you'll end up seeing them the rest of the cruise, whether it's like at a dining or a show, or you're just walking around. Maybe you see them on a shore excursion. The law of attraction works with people here on the ship. So I highly encourage you guys to go out, meet people, get engaged with them, like talk to people, hear their story. We've met some pretty cool people here. And of course the staff has been amazing all across the ship. Our stateroom attendants, the people that are at that do our dining, it's just a great experience. Now let's talk about the worst when it comes to the people, but not the staff, because I haven't ran into any bad staff yet. With the staff or with the people, man, there are a lot of people, they're really rude on the ship and they don't know how to read the room. So you have these people where it'll be a highly populated area and it's pretty busy. However, they will just aimlessly move around and do things as if no one else is in their presence. You have people like this on these ships, and those types of people, I swear they're so annoying. Then you have the people that get upset for whatever at the staff. I experienced this on the first port at Roatan. A guy was just giving it to the guy at the gangway about something. Maybe, I think he sent him the wrong direction or something, and the guy was just like giving it to him. Then I see a guy at guest services upset about some charges. So you get these types of people. So that can turn a cruise into the worst when you're surrounded by a lot of these types of people, or you see people like this. Luckily, I didn't see any fights, didn't see any scuffles, but No? No fights and scuffles? Yeah, so for the, other than that, I mean, let's be clear. I was actually hoping to get a fight or two. Because you guys love drama. You see, look, I'm on deck 16. I hope you can hear me through all the wind. But one of the downsides is the movement of the ship. The first 3 days were really rough. We're on our way back to Galveston, but the first 2 to 3 days, the movement was crazy. I actually got nauseous while I was working out, and I know a few other people felt it. But as far as like this cruise, and I mean, your mileage may vary because it differs from cruise to cruise, but this one, I mean, the movement of the ship, it was something else. It was something else. Now, here's one of the best things about Royal Caribbean and Harmony of the Seas specifically, and that is the food. There's tons of options. Like right now, I'm in the main dining room, and there's like floor after floor after floor. So there are tons of options. So you got the Windjammer, you got Park Cafe, you got the Solarium Bistro, say the Windjammer, you got Sorrento's, and then you also have all of the specialty dining options like Jamie's, you have Izumi, you have Wonderland, and many others. But would I recommend you get the dining package? If you're single, like solo traveler, I would recommend you get the dining package because you could either get it at discount, you know, and also Black Friday's coming up, you can get it then. I was talking to a guy in guest services, and he said that they have them for sometimes like 30–40% off. So that's an option for you with getting the dining package at a cheap price, or if it's just like you and someone else, like boyfriend, wife, whatever. 500 bucks, just think about that. For a 7-night sailing or however long your sailing is, would you get the dining package, or would it be worth it? Possibly, if you like to eat out and if you're a foodie, I would say yeah. But the food, for the most part, yeah, it's good on this ship. Plenty of options, you know, for the most part. At most parts of the day, there will be something available for you to eat. So you just go into the Royal Caribbean app, just click the dining thing, and it'll say hungry now, and it'll give you all the options of what's actually available at the time. And I'll actually show you real time what I'm talking about. So you see there, boom, right there in the app, it just says hungry now, and you just scroll through all the options. And because it is high noon, there's plenty of options of things that are available to eat. So the food, that's one of the best things about Harmony of the Seas. Quick pro tip, I'm gonna toss in a little salt into your salad. So we're right outside of the main dining entrance. Like you can see right there, there's the entrance to the main dining. So this is a good thing about this ship specifically, Harmony, is huge. So there's tons of like little areas you could like skirt off and just chill. Like a lot of people like to go to the solarium because it's adults only. You don't have the rowdy kids you have to worry about, et cetera, et cetera. Or some people, what I've seen, they'll go on deck 5 on the running track, and there are little sections where you can sit there and overlook the water. Those are pretty chill areas. But this right here, you can easily just come here. You see there's seats over there. There are these seats we're sitting in here. I think there's some more seats on the other side over there. But yeah, you could just come here and chill. Now, I'll say this little main dining entrance, no one's coming through here. I mean, for the most part, who you will see come through here is either staff, which is not frequent, especially at this hour, because it's noon, or an off time from dining, or people that maybe just happen to come in here and take pictures. So that's a pro tip. You can come find, you know, and I recommend you guys like explore the ship and see what's out there, because, you know, the pool deck is pretty populated. It's pretty rowdy, really noisy, chaotic. But then you have deck 16, which there are more chairs. There's a lot more empty chairs there, but you still get people that are walking back and forth. And then also you have the wind factor. So if you just like peace and you just want to chill, hey, come over here. These little chairs are really comfortable. So right now I'm standing outside of Studio B, and this is another one of the best things that I was talking about earlier with the list of the other things, and that is the shows and the entertainment. You can't beat it. They have really top-notch shows here in Harmony, which is, you know, Oasis class ship, and it's pretty big. The good thing, got the announcements going. They're about to actually, it's so funny, as I mentioned the shows, it's kind of ironic, they're actually about to have a parade that goes through the promenade. This is the level 4 or the main level of the Royal Theater, and you have the 3rd tier level up there. All the entertainers, they're gonna come out and have a parade. But the Royal Theater is another place where they do a lot of shows and entertainment, but the shows are great. I mean, we saw Grease, we saw Columbus, we saw 1887, the Ice Show, we saw the Aqua Show, we saw the Comedy Show. What else? It feels like I'm missing or leaving out a few shows. Oh yeah, we saw the Love and Marriage Show. We did the Crazy Whatever Show, and we saw the Battle of the Sexes show. So like tons and tons of shows and entertainment. But as you can see, like right here, you have the Royal Theater. I turn this camera around, you got Studio B. Then you have the attic right there to the right, where you'll have, you know, the comedy show, or sometimes a nightclub, or the silent party. And if you can see up here, straight up ahead, because like I say, currently we're on level 4, you have the promenade, and there's other places in there that also has entertainment. So yeah, plenty of options. You will not be disappointed, guys. Okay, you see these here, these outlets? A lot of people talk about this. A lot of people say like, oh, bring an adapter so you can have more plugs because there's not enough. Look, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Also, you have 2 USBs, okay, for phones or whatever. I was using this to charge the GoPro and the phones. So, a lot of people say like, oh, bring them. Now look, if it's just 2 of you, you don't need to bring an adapter. I actually brought a converter with me thinking that, oh man, I'm gonna take advantage of, you know, using this one, you know, because I may need more. No, I didn't. We were just fine. The GoPro was charged just fine. The phones were charged just fine. I brought my laptop, but didn't even use the laptop at all. And yeah, you'll be just fine if it's 2 of you, okay? If you have kids, look, you shouldn't even bring their tablets. I'm gonna be honest. If your kids are 6+, you shouldn't be bringing a tablet on the boat with you. But even if you did, you'll be okay charging this, because it's not like you're going to spend a ton of time in your room. So the time that you spend outside of your room should be the time that you use to charge stuff. As I chill out here in the running track, looking at the nice view here, deck 5, if you want to know, this is the only area on deck 5 that has this little seating area where it's like very specific. There's a couple other areas where the chairs look like they really shouldn't be there. But let's talk about the hidden cost. This is one of the things that's, to me, is the worst part about it, because you pay for the price of the cruise, let's say the airfare, the parking, if you had to, the gratuities. But then on top of that, you got to be cognizant if you're on a budget on a cruise, because there's a lot of stuff that comes into play. You have the taxi rides at the port if you're not doing an excursion through the cruise ship. Then you have the excursions that, you know, you'll pay for. Then if you want to do specialty dining, or maybe if you just want to buy random drinks. So these costs, they're not up front when you book your cruise. So it's something you have to be very careful of when you're on the boat, because what we did was we didn't plan on doing anything. We didn't get the beverage package, the Wi-Fi package, specialty dining package. We didn't book any excursions prior. We just kind of were by the seat of our pants. And I can definitely tell you, if you go by the seat of your pants, you better eat, especially if you're on a tight budget. Stick to it, guys. Please stick to it, or be prepared for some rocky roads, because there's a lot of stuff to buy on the boat. There's a lot of services. There's a lot of people trying to upsell you stuff. Once you go to the ports, of course, you gotta like fight the people off with a stick almost. And then you have like all sorts of other stuff that are like hidden costs. You know, like, oh, you may want to do a massage on the beach. Hey, that's $25 or $35. Oh, hey, you want to do a henna tattoo? Hey, you want to do some braids? Or hey, you want to buy a little souvenir? All of this stuff adds up, and all of this is I say all of this for you guys to be aware of what can potentially happen to you once you hop on the boat and then you go to the multiple ports. So be very careful. I don't want to see you like the guy I saw yesterday. Now, I don't know if he was complaining about this exactly. I know he was complaining about the cost of something or some charges. But this guy, boy, he was giving it to the people at the service desk or guest services. There was like 3 or 4 people behind the desk, and then there was like 3 people behind him because this guy was like, he was making a lot of ruckus. And I don't want that to be you. I don't want you to be that person where it's time to disembark and you can't pay your bill. You know, so, because there's some high dollar stuff on the boat. And I don't want you to be that person that runs up a tab on a bunch of stuff, because it's very easy to do. I mean, I kid you not, it's so easy to do to just run up a tab, because you just give your room key, your CPAS card, just boop, boop, boop. So it's almost in a sense like a credit card where you don't feel the pain right away, you feel it later. So be very careful and manage your money properly. And also, bring cash with you, especially on the ports. If you don't plan on doing any short excursions, I would bring a good $200 to $400 in cash with you, because I'm gonna be real, I'm a bit skeptical on using my credit cards here in foreign countries to some degree, depends. And also, you can get that cash and then change it out to the local currency, which I talked about that in another vlog. So if you wanna go check that vlog out, you can go check the vlog out. But yeah, those hidden costs will get you. Now, this falls under the best and the worst of being on a cruise ship, is your stateroom, because you can look here at the map of what's on each floor. I would recommend that you would stay anywhere between deck 3 and deck 9, because you have Central Park here, you have the boardwalk here, you have the promenade, you have a lot of entertainment on 4. So if you're staying on like 14, or if you're staying in one of the suites, if you're staying in the suite, I wouldn't sit here and tell you like, hey, downgrade and go get an interior cabin. No, stay in your suite and do your thing up there. But what I'm saying is, from the layout of this, you need to determine, as far as like Harmony, what are you more likely to spend most of your time doing? Is it gonna be hanging out at the pool and the sports courts and, you know, doing stuff in this area, or you got kids, so maybe it's easier to drop them off at Adventure Ocean? That might be an option for you. But if you're one of these people where you like to hang out in the casino on deck 4, or if you like to hang out near the promenade or boardwalk or Central Park, you probably want to hang out and get a room within the 9 to 3 range. And that's where I am, on 3. So in my opinion, like deck 3 is one of the best ones as far as the ease of access, getting to the main dining, getting on and off the ship as far as like the gangway, because the gangway here it's only a floor down. When I walk out, usually the gangway is right there. I could either go that way, or I can just go that way to the left and take the escalator. And more than likely, I'm taking the escalator and I'm just going straight down. And I can literally just walk up a couple stories and go to the main dining area, because I'm on the top level of the main dining at 5. So, you know, you don't really have to take the elevator to a lot of stuff. You want to go to the casino, just walk one story up and you're at the casino. You want to go to the main dining, or the promenade, just walk 2 stories up and you're right there. So, you know, in my opinion, decks 3, 4, blah, blah, blah. You get these floors, it's really easy because you can just go up and down fairly easy. Now, of course, if you want to talk about forward or aft, I'll let you decide that. Honestly, when it comes down to that little pesky price of, do you want to pay to pick your stateroom? In my opinion, if you're on a bigger class ship, it may behoove you to actually pay that price, to actually pay to get your stateroom upgraded, as far as you being able to pick and choose which deck you're on, which room you're on, the actual location. So in that case, I would, if you can get it for like $100, I would honestly recommend it. On to the last thing, this little lanyard. You know, you if you've been on a cruise or whatever, you've seen plenty of people walking around on the ports with this thing around their neck, you know, with their maybe passport or their phone inside. These things are waterproof and it helps keep you organized. You can put cash in here and any other stuff, you know. It just depends. You can take whatever you want on the port. I'm not going to tell you like, oh, you know, bring this and bring this when you go out to the port, blah, blah, blah. But you definitely want to have a lanyard because it makes it real easy to keep track of. And, you know, you can hold it out in the open outside of your shirt, or you could tuck it in. And I tucked it in, me personally. That way, like, you don't have to worry about possibly getting pickpocketed or something like, oh, I lost this and da, da, da. It's a little harder for someone to take this from around your neck. Just a little pro tip. I do have Amazon affiliate links in some of the videos. I'm not gonna put one for the lanyard. I'm gonna be honest with you. I could, but everyone's phone is different. So there's lanyards that are made for certain phones, and then some people only want certain specific lanyards because you see, look, this has two sides to it. And I liked it because I can hold more. So your choice, but those are my recommendations of things that you must bring or must need or not do on your cruise. Let me know in the comments below if you've been on a cruise and what are your must-haves and what are your must-nots as far as things you've seen people recommend and you were like, that's fugazi. Nah, no thank you. Or you bought it, wasted your money, and then you're pissed. Be like, this was stupid. Let me know in the comments below. I'll see you in the next one.